Right, so that's what a wildcard is, and now let's have a look at a couple of those other operators. Now, see, this is taken from the HSC textbook, the info processes HSC textbook. You can see that this is a picture of a query, and these are called QBEs, query by example. And we have another one called SQL, which is, if I scroll down, you'll see here's the next part of the language. But I won't go into this in too much detail until we get back into HSC mode. At the moment, we're just doing the prelim mode. So we have logical and relational operators. And so we did the first one, which is an equal sign. So these ones are basically, if I do this, you can see that that's what an equal sign is. It has to equal that in order for it, and you can see that if I spell it wrong, then it's not going to find that word. It's not going to find anything if it's spelt incorrectly. We also have not equal to, and that's when we're doing number values. Less than, same again. So let's say that you want to find a date that's less than something, and these are when we work with money, numbers or values. Money, currency, things like that. We can have things like contains. So if we want to say it contains the letter E, we can do that, but we don't tend to use these words too much. For example, is blank is the word null is what we're saying is null. So if we're looking for a first name if it's blank, and of course there's nothing there, or we can say is not null, and the logical says there you go, there's all that data in there as well. The other part of this is also and, or, and not. You can see that and is both, and or would be either one, or not is exact opposite. So I'm going to show you how this actually works. So we just put not null, which I've done. So these are what's known as the logical operators, and they are the relational operators. And how they work is simple. So we'll take this one out. Let's put in here, let's put in last name, and we're going to find a student who's, you're going to use a wildcard, who let's do it this way. And put a question mark there, and I'm not sure about the last name, so I'll have to, okay, so it's my last name, so how was that? Let's do it this way. Alright, so let's go, alright, this and C and this. Alright, so we found, of course, that's going to find my name, but let's just explain what it's doing. Right, so it says, we're not sure about the last letter, but we've left it, it's got one character, so that's, we're looking at that. Find a student who has this in there, and this line separating here is and, and find a C in their name. Now, what I should do is put an R in there, because that's really going to change things up. So if I press this, I don't get anything, right? So that doesn't work. But what if I did this, and I said, alright, what if I put that there, and said, right, find a student whose name is this, or has an R in their last name. So what we get is, there we go, so Brown and Blackwell. Well, that satisfies that one, and that satisfies that one. Now, what if I wanted to actually find a different person in there? Maybe I might put in there a, who knows, a O. Right? Let's see what happens if I put an O in there. Well, we've still got the same one, so that doesn't matter. But as you can see, these are the logical operators, and that's how you put them into a QBE. This is a query by example. So that's find a student whose name is this, and we're not sure about the last letter. And then, or we can do something really funky. Let's say, alright, let's put in here a wildcard of an asterisk, R and an asterisk, and let's move this up to, say, put this here. Right, so it has to be and. Let's see, and I should get Sarah Brown. There you go. So there's Sarah Brown. But then if I move this one down here, what happens if I move this one? Now, knowing my luck, won't work. Alright, so, wrong button, go back. There we go. So then I get the results of these ones because it satisfies all that criteria, which is great. That one there. Now, the other thing we can do is we can also, if we don't want to show something, we can click this off. And that says show. So if I click that, then I only want to show the first name. Or maybe I'm not sure about, maybe I want to do their height, for example, and I want to say, okay, let's say their height has to be greater than, greater than 160 centimeters, right? Because that's the number values that we put in there. Let's run this query and see what we got. Oh look, everyone's, well, hang on a second, that didn't work. Why not? I'll have to figure that out later after I stop this video. But there's your logic behind the operator, which is greater than, less than, you know, those sort of things. And there's where you put those in there to work out the heights and or the number values as well. Alright, now the next part of this is once we've done all this, we're going to show you how to actually create a query and then display the results. And there's a couple of ways that we're going to be able to display those results. I'm going to stop this video. Oh, before I go, I just want to show you very quickly. This is, over here is design view, and then we have SQL data sheet view, so we can see what our program's running. Alright, so we've got that. I want to show that again. So we do that, and there it is there. Now, if I press this button over here, this SQL view, I've got all this gobbledygook. But basically, an SQL is a query by example, but it's the code for it. So we want to select the field names, first name, last name, and height in centimeters, from the tables where it came from. So student details table and contact details table, they're all there, alright, and they're joined together in a relationship where this is the criteria. So where first name has an R in it, and look at that, there's the operator there, and height is in centimeters, or that is there. So that's why, now that makes sense to me, that's why that query gives you Sarah Brown, because Sarah Brown is actually, it's not about how high she is, it's actually about she has an O in it. So if I take that out, then Sarah Brown has to be taken out because she's not tall enough to actually fulfill that requirement, and that's why that's a query by example. So I'm going to stop this video now, and then the next video I'm going to show you how to actually display our results, but I've got a couple of things I need to set up first.